is on, let's get this music started. Oh, well hello there. My name is Fetch Abaco. Welcome to Fetch's Corner. I wasn't really expecting any guests, but for this evening, it's just gonna be myself. No guests tonight, but coming here in the next few weeks, we have some very special guests joining us. So for this evening, it's just going to be you and I, the fire, and the stories I have to tell. So that being said, get comfortable, grab some headphones, relax, and let's enjoy these stories. To start this off, I'm going to be telling you some short, scary stories. Tightening my hearing aid after hearing him say trick or feed, I knew that I was too old to show him any tricks. I got a couple of fresh feet in my basement, if you could wait here a moment. I replied while walking down to my workshop. Mike had asked me where we go when we die. I told her that we go to a happy place, but she shook her head while she said, "That's not what the man in the corner is saying." I always thought Smokey the Bear looked nice and cuddly. That was until I saw him mauling a man to death who didn't properly put out their fire. He looked so cute with those dazzling eyes and snow-white teeth. If only he were still alive. But like a fine wine, he'll only get better with time. As I kneeled there gutting my freshly killed deer, its intestines wrapped around me, pulling me inside of it, then sealing the opening behind me as I desperately tried to dig my way out. My mother always thought I was going to go places in my life. Being stuffed into the trunk of a car was not one of them. The whole game was one of the best I had ever played, but soon after I turned it off and went to bed, I heard the boss music start to play. I feel as if something is in the bathroom with me when I close my eyes in the shower. So once I swiftly open them to find something scurry behind the curtain, just waiting for me to close them again. Coach says I'm a great track runner, but I don't think he can see the humanoid thing that chases me. I go to sleep every night listening to music alone in my home, so when I heard someone faintly singing with the song, my heart stopped. "Dad, why does Mommy always sleep alone?" "Don't worry, you can sleep with her tonight," I said while I dug up my wife's grave. I've climbed Everest dozens of times, but I have never made it to the summit. I've begun using my own corpses as trail markers, attempting to reach the top before it freezes to death again. The small girl giggled as she swung between her parents, holding both of their hands. She was too happy to notice the rope holding them both up. Every morning there's a halo hanging from the corner of my girlfriend's four-post bed. The demons leave it there as a brutal reminder that her suicide left her in hell. I've always been scared of how some animals use bioluminescence to lure and prey. It's also why I'm deathly afraid of space travel, I then said to my therapist. You know, I shot myself in the foot again, but as it remained both firmly attached to my leg and firmly pinned under the boulder, I wept in agony and defeat as I accepted where I'd be putting my last bullet. My heart started pounding faster as the ice began to crack, but I was unable to break through and reach the surface. They're wrong. I can manage my anger just fine. It's my hunger that drove me to kill those people. My boyfriend said it'll take him a few minutes to check a broken tire. It took him so long. I started hearing drops of rain. I came out to his bloody corpse hanging on a tree branch by the top of our car. And now I'm alone in the middle of the woods, and it's getting dark. I saw my 5-year-old son's shoes behind the curtains, so I silently walked over and pulled the curtains back to scare him. I looked into his cold, dead eyes and realized that he had accidentally got the curtain cord caught around his neck. I clawed and begged to be let out, but they ignored my pleas. No containment facility strong enough to hold me. Just wait until the moon rises. I clamped the lid on the drum, creating an airtight seal. My wife's pleading and screaming will stop when the oxygen is gone. A wool traveler went missing in the mountains near my town. Don't try to find her no matter how much they offer. This story I'm about to tell you is 100% real, and it comes from the area that I live in. My town is not rural, but it's not big, and we are surrounded by mountains. By word of mouth, there were particular places in these mountains that are forbidden places. Not because they are owned by anyone, but just because of the mystery that sprouts out from them. My city is hundreds of years old, and it has so many different cultures mixed into it. that we have a good amount of ghost stories as well. This one true story of a person who has gone missing in one of these areas is one that still scares me every time I hear it, because it makes no sense. To this day, you are still able to see the plaque of this missing person strung up on a tree off the side of an old dirt road that my family and I ride our ATVs on. On the plaque, they offer money to the person who could find her body, which is still up there. The area she went missing in, or at least the road, is called the Devil's Pass, but I'm not for sure on this. I've heard other people refer to it like this, but it may not be its official name. So let me tell you why her disappearance is so strange. She was a world traveler and had gone to every continent, so she had to have been good with maps. Also, according to her children, she had been to the destination she was trying to get to before, which was off of a paving road. Somehow, she ended up pulling off of the paved road onto an old, rocky dirt path, which leads into the forbidden territory. At night is mainly when the area is supposedly dangerous to be in, and I have only been there during daylight hours, and I never left the road. However, there is a feeling of being watched while you are in this area, and it just has an unsettling presence. Or this might just be because of all the stories I've heard behind it that makes me paranoid of it. Anyway, the lady for some reason didn't stop and just kept on going. She ended up getting high-centered and couldn't drive anymore according to the police report. Now some of you are going to say that she was drunk and that's why she kept on driving in the middle of the woods, and the police thought the same thing, until the woman's daughter informed them that she had called her mother while she was driving there. Before she lost the phone signal, her daughter had told them that when they had talked, she sounded perfectly fine, and that she wasn't slurring her words at all. So to continue with the story, the woman gets out of her car and checks to see if there was any way to get unstuck. It was a rainy summer night, and when the cops arrived at the crime scene, they could see her footprints. They never left the perimeter of the car also, but for some scary reason, she was nowhere to be seen. They brought out forest rangers, volunteers, and even dogs to find her. The dogs never tracked her scent any farther than 10 feet from the car. It was as if she vanished off the face of the earth. Her body is still up there, and it's been around 25 years since it happened. And yet, there's still no sign of her. The award of finding her body still stands though, which is more than $1,000. But I would never try it. That area is not meant to be gone into, let alone searched. No one knows why it's cursed in my town, but the stories date back to the early 16th century when it was first settled. I'm scared actually of sharing this story. If you talk about the area a lot, bad things seem to happen to you. I'm not superstitious about much, unless it involves this place. I was going to go camping close to that area with a bunch of friends from high school, but when I told my mom, she without hesitation said no. It was a no that didn't matter under any other circumstances because it would not change. I'll finish by saying that there are things in this world that shouldn't be explored, and this happens to be one of them. Well folks, that wraps up everything for this evening. Thank you for coming to Fetch's Corner. I know this isn't the typical Sunday, but keep in mind, we have some very special guests coming in the next few weeks. But for now, I hope you enjoy this video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed Fetch's Corner. But that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful evening. My name is Fetch Arbuckle, signing off.